Good morning, everyone. So, how are you guys doing today? Um, what are we looking at? So, I took a short later on the London session, and it took me out at break even. I was aiming to ride it all the way down to under the low of the Asia session into a 1 hour fair value gap. And unfortunately, it just went the other way. But I'm glad that after 1 hour, I secured the stop loss at break even. Actually, I secured the stop loss at break even after it broke under this low in here. And I did that, and then yeah, at least I'm not in drawdown. I'm in break even for today. So let's see what we are looking at today. By the way, did you guys notice that the music is back? How's the music? Like, can you hear it? Is it fine? Is it everything fine? All right. So until you guys are gonna let me know in the chat if the music is fine, and if I hear myself, and if you can hear me loud and clear, let's just look at what has been going on gold and obviously on silver. So silver is just like super mighty. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, that thing is really flying, and I can see that there is a level that I have marked. Oh, okay. Now I can see why it's headed higher. So I'm on the weekly chart in here. Obviously, I need to be very zoomed out, but you can see that there are some levels in here that are like all-time high for silver. I think it's this level here, but it's probably heading towards that area. Anyway, let's just go back to some normal time frames because okay, so some areas of importance that I'm looking at, like for today, it's this 4 hour CB over here, and this 1 hour BC that I was hoping for price to tap into today, with my trade, and that's where I would have had my take profit, but it did not do that. Anyway, so the thing that I can see right here, I mean, look at this low here. Look at that low, which coincides to this low on gold. And look at all this massive consolidation that took place in here, like all this thing on silver. And that basically has been formed during the same time with all this price action on gold. So despite this might be looking bullish and bearish on gold, like this part was bullish, this part was bearish on gold, what I'm actually thinking is that because of the way that moment, that period of time formed the structures both on gold and on silver, which is very different from each other. I'm thinking more that this move upside and this move downside on gold, it's actually an accumulation, just like it was for silver. And looking at silver right now, it has a lot of sell side over here. Now the question is it going to want to attack that at one point? And obviously we're not thinking it's going to do that today, because that's not, it wouldn't be the type of, drop that would be likely to happen in one single day. But yeah, you never know. Probably it's something that we need to keep in mind for, I don't know, for the upcoming month or so, or at least the upcoming 2 weeks. There is a saying in the financial world, in trading. It says in the professional investment world, it says sell in May and go away. So generally speaking, it is known, so to say, that usually from the beginning of the year all the way till around May, usually prices tend to go up. And it's exactly what we've seen here. Like if we look at, the first trading day in January, which was around here, it really went up, like no doubt about that. And then if we're looking at the moment when we got closer to the month of May, basically from here, okay, the beginning of May, it has been doing nothing but just being like quite choppy, I would say. So if I were to think of this and think of all the, or see basically all the sell side liquidity that we have with silver here, and all this trend line liquidity here on silver, I'm assuming that there are a lot of market participants, and I'm not talking retail traders, but institution wide. I'm thinking that there is a great deal of acceptance that the market is still heavily bullish, and this could also be supported. This idea could also be supported by the, there's a lot of like stress going on in the world at this point with Russia and Ukraine, recently with Israel and Iran. And there's been some news today that Donald Trump left one day earlier from the G7 whatever meeting they're doing, and he advised everyone from Tehran and from Tel Aviv, the capitals of Iran and Israel respectively, to leave the countries. China also instructed everyone to leave Israel. All of this could actually just support the idea of an upcoming, or like an upcoming bullish gold. However, I feel like it's not going to happen without a dip first. Now, let's go back to the 1 hour and let's just remove those areas that price has already. Oh, actually, I think that I already did that, didn't I? Yeah, I've already pretty much removed all the areas that were already taken out. What I do want to remove, it's going to be some areas here on silver. Now I do want to keep this level, and we're going to put it as a BSL flip. Meaning that it was a buy sell liquidity area, or also known as resistance, but then it got flipped. Okay, and also this is also a BSL flip. So these are the two areas that I want to keep an eye on silver. So that price level here, that high, and then this high over here. And the reason why I want to keep an eye on these two levels and the others I'm not really interested in, like these two levels, why I see those as flip zones is because obviously this is the highest high of that, you know, consolidation that took place in here. So if this is a break of structure, we probably should, like price might probably want to mitigate that. And if it's not going to look as a mitigation, meaning that if it's not going to reject off of it, but it's actually going to break and close under that, then we might be looking at a return into a range and probably thinking of attacking that low over here. So that would also mean possibly bearishness for gold. And obviously I want to keep this area in here because, well, you can see why. I mean, duh. It's like the highest high that occurred prior to making this pullback. And then, yeah. Okay, so those are the levels that I want to keep on silver for now. And yeah, and that's it for now. On the 15 minutes, what is price reacting from? Because I always ask myself this, you know, what is price reacting from? So it's basically just reacting from this busy here on silver and this one on gold. And I also want to mark the recently created liquidity areas, SMT liquidity areas, because that's just what I do. Okay. Okay, so remember, guys, remember what I always told you, that relevant SMTs, you should start by marking them starting from the highs and lows of kill zones. Like it's going to be the easiest way in which you can spot SMTs. Okay, like literally the easiest way in which you are going to be able to spot SMTs. Because if you're going to see that the high of a kill zone or the low of a kill zone was formed with an SMT, that's the easiest way to find it, because you are using the indicator with the kill zones. Like for example, this is Asia session, okay? And it's pretty obvious to see that this high over here, it's the high of the Asia session, and then this low over here is the low of the Asia session, right? So then I just put my crosshair in here and I want to see, okay, so this high, like what was that, 8:30 p.m. Yesterday, New York time zone, that was the highest high on the Asia session. Was that the highest on silver as well? And I can see that it was not. On silver, the highest high during the Asia session was 10:30 p.m., which coincides with this high. So obviously between 8:30 and 10:30 we have an SMT divergence. So you just go ahead and mark that out, and then looking at the low of the Asia session, which is here on gold, that was 11:15 p.m. and on silver, so that low over here, and on silver the lowest low was not 11:15 p.m. it was actually 11:45 p.m. So in here, if we're going to go to the 5 minutes, you're going to see that it was a very, very clear and very clean SMT divergence between that low and this low over here, and then that low and this low over here. Okay, so it's really easy to see SMTs like this if you just start with looking at the highs and the lows of every kill zone and see whether those price levels were formed with or without SMT. All right, so I'm looking at this low here on silver, the 9 a.m. low, and I can see that it's not the lowest. And it's something like on gold, it's not the lowest, but there's something off in here. I'm trying to figure out what. It's like more like we're looking at relatively equal lows here if we think of, you know, in terms of body candles. So probably we're going to see price wanting to take out that area. I don't know. I just don't want to make any assumption. Like for now, I have absolutely no, like, I don't know what to trade, honestly. At this very moment, if I were to pick a side, I wouldn't know which side to pick. Yeah, I just wouldn't. So if price is just going to go down or up, I have no idea if it's going to do that or, yeah. And as usual, I'm just not even going to try to chase it. As usual, Friday the chase. I chased price action Friday, and I ended up in a loss as far as I remember. Or was that Thursday? Don't remember when that was. All right. So you guys haven't said anything about the music. Is the music okay? Like, can you hear the music? And can you also hear me? All right. So yeah, I'm just waiting right now. There's two possible scenarios for this. Up or down. Like also look at the London session on the London kill zone on silver. Like, ugh, that is definitely one hell of a consolidation. My God, I don't know if you guys heard that, but it was a massive honk honk outside. Like that's one of the bad sides of living right in the center of the city. I mean, what? So someone is saying that they can only hear the music. You are not hearing me? You guys don't hear me? Because Ben said can only just hear music. Honestly, seriously, guys, you cannot hear me? If you can hear me, just raise your hand in the chat or do something in the chat so I know that you guys can hear me. Okay, so I can be heard. Huh. I'm gonna mark this level here, this area, because it's quite smooth. It's also equal, like relatively equal lows on gold. And I also want to mark this level over here, which is below the London kill zone. And I'm still thinking that price is likely to go ahead and sweep the sell side under the low of the Asia session. And also rebalance that 1 hour CB before going up. So I think that sometime this week we're gonna have like interest rate decision on the US dollar, I think. I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and see the Forex economic calendar for this week. Let's see today. What do we have in store for today? No high impact news for now. And tomorrow is going to be like CPI day on the Eurozone, and then jobless claims on US dollar. And yes, tomorrow at 2 p.m. New York time zone, interest rate decision, and then FOMC economic projections. So today and tomorrow is going to be a hell of a ride. And when I say it's going to be a hell of a ride, that also includes the possibility of not actually seeing anything happening, just mainly consolidating and all of that. And also at the same time, we might see price just jump back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because this is basically just, it's usually what happens during or on the week when there is the interest rate decision. Yeah. So I'm not really I'm not really attracted to trade, honestly. Because it's likely going to be a lot of nonsense price action, I would say. Yeah, so just waiting for now. I think it's better to keep an eye on the chart on the 15 minutes. I don't know why. I just feel that I just get like a better insight or like a better view of what's going on. The waiting, the waiting, the waiting, the waiting.
This is a reminder. Awareness.
Looking at this 5-minute inversion, I would have loved to see a bearish fair value gap here, but there isn't any. All right. I'm also going to keep an eye on the inversion over here on the 5 minutes on the 450 candle. So someone asking, what is it that's speaking about meals and awareness? How is it called? I would gladly install this as a reminder. It's my Alexa. I have an Alexa speaker from Alexa from Amazon. And I've set up reminders that from like every hour, she reminds me awareness, to be aware. And then I've also set up reminders for when to take my vitamins. So I'm not necessarily asking her to remind me to eat, but rather she's reminding me to take my vitamins. You know, those that I usually take before a meal or during a meal. Yeah, she's just helping me with my agenda. It's really useful to have that. So yeah, it's good. I'm really curious what this thing is going to do here. Yeah, I'm in shorts, by the way. Hopefully we can ride this thing all the way down till here. I wouldn't, however, have my stop loss that high because it doesn't really make sense. Okay, so once we break under these lows, once it takes out that area, I'll want to put my stop loss above here. So I'm going to bring the stop loss lower. Unless it does that, unless it breaks that low, I'm not moving the stop loss. Or until it breaks that low, I'm leaving the stop loss where it currently is, above the inversion. So the reason for the short, what made me take the short trade is like whenever I see price rejecting from a fair value gap, from one fair value gap to the left side, and in this case, it to me it's almost never enough that inversion is created. Okay, I want a bearish fair value gap, and we've got that in here, in here. Okay, so oh sorry, here. Now whenever I see price rejecting from a fair value gap, I want to compare with the correlated pair and see, because obviously if price created a fair value gap here, a bearish fair value gap, and right now it's rejecting off of it, obviously price just created a lower low, right? Price just created a lower low. And in this case, I always want to check whether the candle that's rejecting from the fair value gap, which is the one that creates the lower low, is divergent with the candle that has just closed and that corresponds to the same hour with the candle from the correlated pair. So in this case, the candle 1010, okay, which rejected from this fair value gap and therefore created a lower high. So we had a high fair value gap and then another high, which was a lower high. So in this case, that and that, these are my two lower highs. And the second lower high is rejecting from the CB, okay? I want to see whether the candle that's rejecting, it's correspondent from the correlated pair, in our case from silver, if it's also creating a lower high. A lower high, which in this case, it did not create a lower high, it actually created a higher high, okay? So if I were to look at, let's say this area compared to this area over here, okay? So it's just the model that I've been trading on this channel ever since I started doing the live streams, which is SMT divergence plus fair value gap, or fair value gap confirmed by an SMT divergence. In this case, because the pair that we trade is the one that is creating a lower high, so the first leg of the SMT is this one, and then the second leg of the SMT supposedly is to start from or with the candle that's rejecting from the fair value gap to the left side. Okay, so right now I'm expecting for boom, right? In this case, if silver created a higher high during the same time when gold is creating a lower high and gold is rejecting from an existing fair value gap, then that is basically one of the entry models. It's like a bearish continuation SMT divergence. And that's the reason why I took the trade here. However, what I don't really like about it is the fact that it had a nice rejection with this candle from that fair value gap, but I don't like how this candle, it seems to, it's like it hit the brake pedal, you know. But we'll see. We shall see. Because on the 1 minute for now, it looks okay-ish. I would have loved like a stronger close under the bodies of these candles here over there, but it's, for now, it's not invalidating anything, so I'll just see. Let's see. I want to pay extra attention to once it's gonna take out this area here, those lows in here. And then I also want to pay attention to when it's going to reach into this 5-minute inversion, which is that one over here. Or who knows, maybe it's just not going to hit those areas at all. Because looking at it right now, like if we look at this, and then we look at this, you see, it's rather divergent, where gold is creating lower lows and silver is creating higher lows, and any moment now gold could be creating a bullish fair value gap, and that could it might not be very beneficial for a short continuation, but we shall see. Okay, so I said that once it's going to break under those lows, I'm going to bring my stop loss to break even. No, not to break even. Okay, come on, you can do better than that. All right. Okay, so right now I'm bringing my stop loss above the entry candle. Okay, which is above the 1010.
Dinner and vitamins in 30 minutes.
And I really hope that it will not take me out. I really need to remove this reminder, dinner and vitamins in 30 minutes, because I've stopped having dinner at this hour like a long time ago. Okay, so right now, my stop loss is not that big anymore. It's around almost $1,000. So almost 1%, 900 something. But I would love to see it, like, honestly, not rejecting from here. This is the 15 seconds chart. I would really love to see it continuing to move lower. I mean, obviously, who wouldn't? Okay. And again, paying extra attention to when it reaches this inversion in here. Ooh, nice. Okay, so right now, judging by the size of my current stop loss, I'm at 1R. And it just reached into that 5-minute inversion. God, I hope it's not going to reject from here. Look at that reaction from 12-minute open. Dream. Okay, again, let's see what the 15 seconds is doing. No, just don't go back there. Okay. So it's sort of like retested this zone here. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. I want to see it dropping more, you know. I really do want to see it a little bit more. But you know what's not good at this point is that it is divergent with silver. Here, boom, boom. So I'm not particularly happy about that. Okay, I think it's going to be better to just keep watching it on the 1 minute, because if it will want, like, and honestly, I have a little bit of a doubt about the situation here, because usually, like, this is obviously a liquidity area, and usually if it wants to use that liquidity as fuel, in other words, to continue to move lower, it should have, like, sort of like already done that somewhat. Because if it absorbs the liquidity, it's just going to use it to drop heavier because it's already dropping low, right? So it's like using that as extra fuel. Yeah. But we'll see. There's also the other option where the buys that were, you know, the buys that we're taking here by smart money just to induce a buy are right now being mitigated, and that's why they need to go slightly there in order to close those buys at break even. And so removing more of the buys from the market would actually cause price to drop lower. So yeah, it's probably this is what's probably going on right now. Nice. You know what? I think I'm gonna take some profit. Yeah. And right now I'm just moving my stop loss at break even. And that's okay. That's okay. All right, so right now my trade is secured at break even. I only have a minor position left, 10% from my initial 2 lots. And I'm happy with the 70 plus pips, 70 plus points that I got on this. And it's good. It's probably gonna go lower, and I'm even gonna remove that thing over here. Goody, nice. And you know what? It might even not go under this low here. It might not even go under the low of the Asia session. It might not even reach this 1 hour BC or the midpoint of previous week's range, which is this 50% level that you see here. It might not even reach there. I'm fine with it, no matter what it's gonna do. But if it continues to go lower, like, why not? I mean, heck, who would refuse that? Woo! All right, guys. Yeah, I think we can hit the like button for the stream. What do you guys think? Because I'm sure everyone who's here watching me do this right now, or you know, everyone who usually, each and every one of you who usually watches the, you know, the live trading sessions of anyone on YouTube, I'm very sure that you guys take trades based on whatever the other person's saying. So if you took this trade, or if you're learning something, just hit that like button, okay? It's not gonna cost you anything, you know. Okay. Nice one. You know what? I'm gonna take something off my runner because it's very beautiful runner, honestly. It's a really beautiful runner. So I'm actually going to close most of it. Just waiting a little more. Should I wait a little more? Okay, so let's mark the reason why this occurred, which is basically sort of like this. And the reason for doing this is because this is where right now we have SMT buy side on both bears, like that. Okay, so it just took out, woo, TP smashed. Nice. And now it's going to be really, really interesting to see what it's going to do from here. Very interesting to see what it's going to do from here. So for this trade, like this went like 140 pips for now from entry till TP, because I did close my runner almost 140. But it's really going to be interesting to see what it will do once silver takes out this low, if it's going to take it out, and if gold will hit this area here, which is 3370-ish, which again, it's the midpoint of the previous week. So I'm on the weekly chart here. Don't mind the lines and everything, okay? Just ignore everything that it's not useful to you at this point. This previous week, look at how we took out the high, and then I've just put a fib from its low all the way to the high. Because if we took out the high, then it's rejecting, which obviously it did, it's likely to move lower towards the midpoint of the previous week. And oh my God. Ooh, look at that. Wow. This really exceeds my expectations. Yeah. Whoa. What a drop. What a drop. Like the next sell side liquidity area, it's going to be over here at 33.58. There's also another area here, another level. I'm just going to mark that one as well. And you know what? I want to extend this 1 hour inversion because it previously rejected so beautifully off of this, and it might still be a level of interest. So yeah, it might still be a level of interest. But oh my goodness, oh my God, oh my God. Right now I feel stupid for not leaving a runner, and I always do that. Yeah, I didn't leave a runner. I didn't leave a runner! Oh my God. Okay, but I'm glad that my take profit was hit. I'm perfectly fine with that. And grateful. So yeah, I think I can call it a day. I'm just gonna leave this here with you guys. Woo. It was a good trading day. Okay, guys, talk to you tomorrow. But before I go, I want to remember to you, all of you, once again, that you can get 20% off from Blueberry Funded if you want to purchase any challenge, and if you use code RBV Forex. It's somewhere in the top of the screen. Somewhere in the top of the screen. So yeah, if you're gonna, like, their $100,000 challenge is around $500, I think. And if you're gonna use my code, obviously I'm gonna get a small commission, but that's not gonna affect you in any way, shape, or form. And if you're gonna use my code, you're gonna get $100 off that $100,000 challenge, which is not bad. You know, it's really not bad. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Have a lovely rest of your day. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Make sure to hit the like button for the live stream. I'm really happy that the music is back. And that's it. The bird is back. The bird just came right now. So the bird says bye, the magpie. All right, guys. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.